Hi everyone, welcome back to Data Solution. I hope you are doing very well. In the last lecture, we have already talked about basic of SQL, how to query data and view result, even remove data if we need it. Now let's take this one a step further and explore how to filter the data and how to sort our data set so that we will work with it more efficiently. Here I am using a stock dataset which contain millions of record, and if we use this table without limiting, we get an error query limit exceeded. So let me show you. Let me highlight this and run this, and you can see here query limit exceeded because it's contain millions of record. So that we can use here take clause to limit the number of row to return here in query set. So let me use here take clause and limit it to 10, which return randomly 10 records. Okay, and it is always better to limit the amount of data we pull back in query set. Okay, now let's go a bit deeper, and instead of just limiting, we might want to filter our data to only see what we care about. In KQL we can do this with where clause, which work very similar to SQL. So let's say we want to filter where the ticker symbol is equal to SVL. So how to filter? Let's use here pipe operator, then write here where clause, and then use here column, hit tab button to auto complete. Then we need to use here double comparison operator, which called double equal to, and then write here symbol SLV. Okay, I want to filter with SLV, so let me run this, and then you can see here we filtered with tickle with symbol SLV. Okay, and this is evaluated where this condition is true. Okay, and matching condition are written. Okay, now maybe I don't need all the column, where I can use here project clause to restrict or choose here a specific column. So how can you do? Let's use here pipe operator and then write here project clause and choose what column do you want. Okay, so let us suppose I want here date column and open column, and let me use here high, and also let me use here low, and let us suppose I want here ticker column. Okay, now also remove here take clause, and now we can see here all the row in which ticker symbol equal to SLV, and we select here a specific column using project. Okay, once we filter and select a specific column, the next step is to order the result, which can do by order by clause, which is very similar to SQL. Okay, in KQL as well. So let me use here order by, we need to write in a small letter because this is case sensitive. Okay, and then let me suppose I want to order by date in descending order, which means most recent data come first. Okay, and you can see here we successfully order by date. And also it is important to remember the sorting should be ideally come last, because if we sort too early, we are forcing the system to sort all the record, that is much larger data set, which is less efficient. Okay, so let us summarize. We use here where clause to filter data, and we use here project clause to select a specific column, and then we use here order by clause to sort our data set or result. Okay, all of this feel very familiar if we work with SQL, but KQL make it clean, simple and intuitive. Okay, now that you have seen how to filter and sorting work, we are ready to move to next big concept, which is aggregating and grouping. This will allow us to generate a meaningful insight like average, total and trend across group of data, which we will cover in next lecture. So please stay tuned. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe the channel and like this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.